Hey guys, welcome to today's video. So I'm so excited because this video is so long overdue, but today we are decluttering my eyeshadow palette collection. So this is going to be a little bit more vloggy style, so I hope you guys like the new content and let me know what you think in the comments down below. Before we go ahead and get into the footage though, make sure that you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also turn on that post notification bell so you can be notified of all my future uploads. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Say hi. So this is the absolute best that I could do given the circumstances. So as you can see, this drawer is filled to the top. I can barely even close it, to be honest. So we're just gonna go through, see what I wanna keep and see what I wanna get rid of. So first up at the top, we have the Laura Lee Nudie palettes. I'm 100% keeping these. I have not used them yet, but this is what this looks like. So beautiful. Huh, there I am. So beautiful. This just speaks to me on so many levels. So I'm definitely going to be keeping this. Next up, we have the original Laura Lee Nudie Patootie palette. Again, I have not used this either, so I am definitely going to keep this. This is what she looks like. Very similar to the first one, but obviously we have more shades here. And again, like, these are just so pretty. I'm 100% keeping them. So everything that I'm going to keep, I'm going to put to the left. Everything that I'm going to get rid of, I'm going to put to the right. And when I say get rid of, I'm going to donate. If not to like a shelter or something, you know, with COVID, things are up in the air, but I will definitely be giving these to family and or friends. So next up, we have this Revolution palette. I really liked this. This was a TJ Maxx find. I don't find myself using this all the time. I don't know. It's not pulling the way it looks in person. In person, it's a lot deeper. For example, this shade right here is a rose with a little bit of shimmer, but it's definitely pulling a little bit white on camera. So I think I'm gonna go ahead. Do I say goodbye to this? I don't know. We'll put this in the maybe pile. Next up, we have this guy, another Revolution palette. This did not blow me away whatsoever. I think I got this so that I could get some free shipping, so I'm going to say goodbye to this guy. Also, guys, don't look at my nails. Yeah, don't look at my nails. Next up, we have this BH palette. I absolutely love this palette. This is one of the first palettes that I filmed with. I don't reach for that often. That's the only problem. I love this palette so much, but I find that a lot of the shimmer shades are a little bit, they feel so good, but they're definitely, I don't know. They're either like really bronzed or they almost look like a little bit ashy on me as like an all over the lid shade. So I think, am I gonna go ahead and say goodbye to this? I think I am. She was great. I loved her very much, but it's time to part ways. Moving on to the new Jaclyn Hill palette. This is the volume 2. I recently filmed with this, but I used the original, so I had to go out. Honestly, I forgot how good these were, so I had to go out and buy the second one. This is so pretty. I haven't used it yet, but I'm very excited. So yeah, when this is the thing, like when I don't know if I'm like on the fence about getting rid of something, I'm definitely going to pull something I love. Like, looking at these two next to each other, like, I'm definitely ready to say goodbye to this because I have probably all the shades in this. Moving on to this little guy right here. This is so good. This is the Profusion Mattes palette. These are all mattes. Again, it's pulling a little bit brighter on camera, but I love this. I'm not getting rid of this. This was $5 and they blend really, really well. We have the ColourPop Going Coconuts palette. I love ColourPop. I love all their shadows. I am definitely going to be keeping this. I'm not getting rid of this either. I recently got this. I don't have anything like this in my collection, and this is what I used when I did in my How I Cream Contour and Highlight video. So love this. Next up, another ColourPop Wild Child palette. This is so beautiful. This is probably my favorite from ColourPop. It's just, like, you guys, they're just so good. Like, look at these shades. I barely even, they're so good. They really are. Also, I'm at a weird angle, so I'm trying to figure out where I need to like point hand swatches to and such, but keeping. Love her. And again, these are so cheap. What are they, like $8? I have a couple more ColourPop palettes. I have the Orange You Glad and the Main Squeeze. I'm gonna keep both of these. Again, I love ColourPop, and these are really fun when I'm doing brighter looks or want to do like a more monochromatic look. Moving on to Miss Huda, we have a couple of these. I'm not getting rid of any of these. If you guys watch my best of drugstore palettes, you know that I am obsessed with Huda palettes. This is the mauve one. We have the Coral Obsessions right here. I mean, these are just so beautiful and they're pretty inexpensive. I mean, let me not jump the gun. They're definitely not inexpensive, but they're decently they're really good. They're decently priced given what you get and the quality. So I will be keeping all of these. I'll show you another look-see so you can see. Although I don't use this one much, but I just feel like it was limited edition and honestly they got me with the packaging. And I thought I had all of them. There's one more. Yes, here we go. There's one more Neons palette from Huda and this is her. Again, these just blend so well. They're incredible. I love them. We have a couple more Huda over here. I told you guys I'm sick. There's something wrong with me. I have the nude palettes. Also, not getting rid of these. Very classic nude tones. Moving on to collab. I say collab, but I don't know. So I bought this from Sally's and to be honest, I really wasn't impressed. I don't even know how to open this. I didn't love my makeup the day I filmed with this and the colors were really lackluster. So the lighting on this is just, there we go, you guys. Okay, now we're working. So this definitely was not really impressed. It was okay, but definitely not the best. So I'm gonna say goodbye to her. So I just talked about this, the original Jaclyn Hill palette. I love this. You guys saw me film with it recently. It is just, everything blends really well, so she is staying. Moving on to Dose of Color. So I have a couple of these. So these are so good and they come with a brush. These honestly are some of the best shadows. So I will definitely be keeping all of my Dose of Colors palettes. I have the Baked Browns, the Sassy Siennas, and I have the Blushing Berries, keeping all of them. Next up, Ulta Sunset Skies. So I also filmed with this. So this was actually a free gift from Ulta. They are so buttery and so pigmented. I mean, they honestly, like, they feel incredible. Let me do a little swatcheroo. Like, I barely pressed and I get all of that. But to be honest, they did not blend the best. I had a really hard time blending these shades, and so for that reason, I'm going to part ways with this one. Next up, we have the Tartist Pro. So do you guys remember when this came out? Everyone was so hype over it. I was so excited to get this. My best friend got this for me for my birthday. I don't reach for this a ton. I don't know why, because I was so excited. However, I use these two shades right here, this black, and I mix in with this brown as well to fill in my hairline. So I will be keeping it for that reason. Next up, we have Miss Jenner. I have a bunch of these palettes. I don't know why. I'm pretty sure they were buy one, get one free. So I have all of these. To be honest, a lot of people like talk trash about these. I like them. Like, I don't see, I mean, they're very, very basic, but they blend really well. So I like that. Also, I hate this packaging and this white cardboard, so I really want to get rid of this for that reason, but I actually really like the tones in here. And then I'll just show you the other two. This is my favorite, honestly. I love these blues and these yellowy shades. So again, I will be keeping these. I don't really understand why everyone, I mean, let me not jump, let me not get ahead of myself. They're definitely way overpriced for what they are, but if you can get them on sale like I did, buy one, get one, then by all means go for it. So moving on to Miss She Glam. I talked about these. These are also very bulky considering how small they are. These are very, very lackluster. Like, when I tell you lackluster, like, do you see anything? Okay, like now, very, very barely can I see anything at all. Did you see me swatch? I'll do it again for you. Yeah, literally no pigment at all. Would totally pass. This, I mean, this was honestly like $3 and like something cents, but are they the best? No. I mean, I love the color story for sure, but again, like, just nothing comes up. So for that reason, again, I will be parting ways. So I have two other She Glam palettes. This palette right here is incredible. I love this. I love the tones in this. And honestly, now that I'm holding this up, so I rave about my BH Desert Dusk palette, which I have right here. It's discontinued. I'm super upset. I broke mine, I dropped it, and I busted quite a few shades. This shade right here, this shade in the corner is missing, and then these 2 shades over here are now gone. So I bought a backup from like eBay or something. That's how committed I am to this palette. And now, like, once I look at this, it's very, very similar to this guy right here. Is she a dupe? Kind of, right? Do you guys see it? I see it. So anyways, that made me really happy. But in any case, I'm keeping this and I'm also, of course, keeping this. And you already know I'm keeping my backup of this as well. Again, these are the best palettes. If you can find them anywhere, I highly, highly, highly recommend. Profusion. This palette is so like sought after and raved about. So I tried a Profusion palette in my TJ Maxx video. If I can even find it, here it is. And I was so impressed by the quality. This is what I got from TJ Maxx. And so again, these are really, really, really good. And you get a really good mix of shades, blushes, highlights, all of the above. So for that reason, I will be keeping this. I also have not played with this yet, so I'm planning on filming an upcoming video with this, so stay tuned. She is staying. Another SheGlam palette. So I also forgot about this when I filmed my SheGlam makeup look. To be honest, I'm not like obsessed with the colors in here. Again, this is brand new, so I hate to give it away. But I just don't see myself reaching for this, and as much as I want to keep it, I think I'm going to give it to someone else who will love it and show a lot more use than I will. Moving on to Miss Bobbi Brown. I paid a pretty penny for this and I never used it, but it is so pretty. It makes me want to keep it. I think I will keep it just because of the price point. So if you don't see me filming with this in an upcoming video, then call me out. Next up, we have Miss Laura Lee. So this is the original Cat's Pajamas. I found this at TJ Maxx. This was a TJ Maxx find. I got this for $10.99 and I was shook to my core. So I obviously am keeping her. She doesn't sell this anymore. Again, like clearly this was her first palette. Literally, like, look at this and the flowers on the inside compared to like the aesthetic of this. Like clearly she has grown and changed and moved directions as a brand, but nonetheless, like this formula is so bomb. Again, like all of my palettes look the same, and yeah, I'm aware. But anyways, I'm keeping this just for the formula. I want to test it out. I will be filming a Laura Lee makeup video, I guess. Moving on, this is the Celestial Thunder palette from Dominique Cosmetics. I love her shadows. They're so nice. Let me go ahead and swatch them. Like, they are just so pretty. But to be honest, like, are these my tones? These aren't really my tones. I got this in a BoxyCharm and told myself I'd keep it just because it was Dominique Cosmetics and that the formula was so good, but I'm not going to be using this, so I'm going to be donating this. We have Miss Huda Beauty again. To be honest, I'm not really a fan of her bigger eyeshadow palettes for whatever reason. I prefer her minis. I have used this a couple times in the past, but to be honest, I think it's the tones in this. We go from like a very, very cool tone transition shade to this peach to this rust brown to like an orange and like a deeper red. So for me, the color story doesn't make all that much sense when it comes to the tones that I like to apply. I just don't find that it's that flattering on me. So for that reason, I will be parting ways with her. Next up, we have the Ace Beauté palette. I actually just filmed a BoxyCharm unboxing video with this and it performed really, really well. I was very impressed. So I will definitely be keeping 4 pops of colors. Up next, we have Miss Natasha Denona. So I mean, like, need I say any more? Obviously, I'm keeping this. The color story isn't anything like to wow for, but hello, this is my only Natasha Denona palette and I would be very silly to give this up. Next up, we have this NYX Foil Play. So this was another TJ Maxx find. I took the price tag off. These are okay. I mean, like, nothing really comes up. They're like very, I mean, you really can't even see it on my hand. Very, very subtle, like glitter topper. Am I obsessed with this? Like, very, very pretty, but to be honest, if I'm gonna put a shimmer on my eyes, I want it to be pigmented and look good from the very start. I don't want to have to layer, so for that reason I will be parting ways with her. Next up, we have my Naked palette. It's actually in really, really good condition, and that's because when I got this, my dad, I remember it was 2011, I was a freshman in college, and my dad got this for me for Christmas, and he was like, oh, like, I'll buy you two, you know, like, in case you run out of the other one. Like, does anyone ever hit pan on an entire eyeshadow palette? No, not at all, but my original one is like completely busted and torn up, so I kept the one that I used less. And even though I'm not like actively using this, this was my first ever like eyeshadow palette, as I'm sure many other people's as well. So for that reason, I have to keep it. Up next, we have the Anastasia Sultry palette. I mean, just look at how beautiful this is. I love this packaging so much. I don't use this as often as I should, but it's so pretty and it has such amazing, I feel like I'm not really in focus and it's really messing with me. But in any case, I love this. I'm not getting rid of this. Beautiful. We have a couple left. So next up we have a Morphe, and this is the 825D palette. This is like every neutral shade that you would ever want. I've talked about this before. It's so good. Well, let me let me reel it in a little bit. It's good. It's not the best when it comes to blending, like, you know, like color payoff, like things fluffing around. However, it gets the job done if you want a quick, very blown out eye makeup look. So I will be keeping her, especially because I believe this is no longer sold. Gosh, you guys, we're coming down to the final four. So, okay, this gives me so many memories. First of all, look at this Z palette. Look how pretty she is. Remember when Z palettes were literally everything and more? So this is a compilation of all my favorite single shadows. It's crazy to look at this because like nowadays, I mean, clearly you can see which shades I absolutely love, right? Like we have this shade right here. We have this, I believe this is Deep Skin by Morphe. But it's just so interesting because I have so many warm tones and pinks and what have you, and I'm really not kind of reaching for those colors anymore. But I have this sense of like, I don't know, I can't get rid of her, so I will be keeping her. And who knows, maybe I will use some of these shades again because they are really good. Also, might I add, people are paying a pretty penny for these single shades. Like some of these are literally like $8 each, like Anastasia shades and Makeup Geek shades. So I will definitely be keeping this. Yeah, sorry, I gotta get rid of this. Next up, we have the Tati Beauty palette. I remember I was on vacation when this came out. I was in Turkey, and it was like some crazy hour in the morning, like 3 a.m. or something, and I remember that this was coming out, so I literally purchased it on vacation. And this is just so beautiful. It's just like so different, right? So you have your 5 or 6 core shades, and then you have them across all different formulas. So you have a matte, you have a sequin, you have a metallic, and you have a glitter. So I will be keeping this just because it is so beautiful, and the mirror in here is really, really good, really, really great quality. And the last palette that we have is this Morphe palette, and the pans in this, guys, are so big. Like this is a monster palette. To be honest, this looks exactly like my single shadow palette, but this is actually really nice. They blend really, really well too. This isn't like so let me pull up another Morphe palette so you can kind of see the difference. This was part of like the Grand collection, I guess. So you can see like just comparing the shades, like they're a lot bigger on this palette right here, and they're also formulated very, very differently. This palette for Morphe was quite expensive, and so the colors just blend a lot better than regular Morphe shades. So for that reason, I will be keeping her. All right, guys, so you guys get to watch this in fast forward, so lucky you guys, but I'm gonna go ahead and reorganize and stack everything. So hope you enjoy. Don't mind the mess over there. Here is a newly cleaned out drawer. Again, like These are the Alex 6 or 7, 5, whatever drawer, so it's really hard to kind of place these in any other way. So I don't know, I just stack them all, but the most important part is that we can close the drawer. Amazing. So here is everything that we, sorry guys, here's everything that we got rid of. I feel like I need to lay them all out so you guys can see. So we didn't get rid of as much stuff as I had hoped. However, we're still getting rid of a decent number of palettes. Like, I understand that most people don't even have this many palettes. So yeah, we're getting rid of a decent amount, guys. I'm happy with it. And guys, that completes today's video. So I hope you enjoyed. We actually got rid of a ton of eyeshadow. So again, not as many as I would have hoped, but it's still a really good start. But if you did like today's video, make sure to give it a huge thumbs up and let me know what else you want to see in the comment section down below. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.